Hey guys, it's Sarah. So today's video is going to be a full face of all of my favorite makeup products. So this has become kind of a series. I did a full face of my most expensive makeup, full face of my cheapest makeup, full face of my least favorite products, and I did the full face of my least favorite products probably a couple months ago at this point, but on that video a few people asked that I do a full face of my favorite products. So I went through each category of my makeup and picked out as best I could my favorite product from each category. It was kind of hard. There's some categories where I don't really have a favorite like holy grail status product, but I did the best I could. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'll start with primer like normal. So I'd have to say my favorite primer at the moment is one that I'm almost finished with. It's the Covergirl Vitalist Go Glow Primer. I already cut it open. I only have a little bit left in there. So in fact, this might be my last use. This is a really great both hydrating and luminous primer. It just has a really nice lotiony texture. It does have a little bit of glow to it, but not really shimmer. It's just kind of just has a luminous finish. And yeah, I really like it. Hello! Elaine is 8 weeks old now. She's growing fast. I don't have a scale, but I'm pretty sure at the rate she's been going, based on what she weighed last week at her vet appointment, she's probably about 3 pounds now, which is crazy. When we got her, she was less than 2 pounds. I'm guessing she was probably around 1.5 pounds when we got her. So she's growing very fast. So you can see that really did give my skin a lot of glow. I still have a little bit of that left. Actually, let me go ahead and put some on my collarbones too. This, I use it as a primer, but you could also use this as like a liquid highlighter. It's really a multi-purpose product, but I tend to use it for a face primer. It's also nice to mix with foundations. Yeah, check it out. So I do have a little bit left, so I'll probably have one more day left of that, but that is almost done. So for foundation, now I wanted to stick to only cruelty-free products in this video, even though I do have some non-cruelty-free products still in my collection from Physicians Formula and Wet n Wild. My favorite foundation has been the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. To be honest, it's still my favorite. I'm still looking for something that's as good as that. But looking at all my other foundations, excluding that one, my favorite one actually is probably the Pacifica Alight Clean Foundation. I used to not like it, and then I totally changed my mind this year, and it's quickly become one of my favorite foundations. Still, it's very different from the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. This is way more of a full coverage foundation, but I've really been liking it. I also do really like the NYX Born to Glow foundation, but I think between this one and that one, I do like this one just a little bit better. And the key with this one is to just use one pump, which seems like a very small amount. It's just gonna look a lot more natural the less you use. So that is my advice with this product. And even though this is a full coverage foundation, you can see it's very dewy. Of course, I have a dewy primer underneath it. So what I like to do is basically coat my face in a very light layer of this, and then take whatever's left from that one pump and just focus that on any areas that I feel like I want a little bit more coverage. And since this has such buildable coverage, this will build it up to pretty much full coverage, just that little bit of extra on those areas. So usually that's really just like my cheeks, where I have like acne scarring and stuff. And it really just makes my skin look so perfected. It's really not heavy like you would expect a full coverage foundation to be. It's of course gonna be a little bit heavier than, you know, a dewy medium coverage foundation. But for a full coverage foundation, I really like it. But I really can't stress enough how dewy this is. So, you know, you have to like that. But I think it's a really great trade-off that makes a full coverage foundation actually not feel like you're wearing a mask. So I really don't have a favorite concealer right now, but I would say out of the 4 that I have, you guys are gonna laugh at me. My favorite probably is the Too Faced Born This Way. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I've complained a lot about this concealer, but at the end of the day, it's a good concealer. I guess I just didn't really get the hype because there are other drugstore concealers, like the Jordana Take Cover Concealer. That one I used up already, but that one it has a little less coverage than this, but I actually like that one a little bit better. It's funny, like full coverage really isn't the be-all end-all for me. Like I don't necessarily always even like full coverage, but I like to have the option, you know? That's why it does kind of annoy me when products say full coverage and they're not. And I know there's no such thing as like 100% full coverage. That would look ridiculous. Like that would be an actual mask. But you know, when I see full coverage on a product, I'm expecting my dark circles to be pretty much covered. And you can see, I mean, it does cover. So if I want full coverage, the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo is the one I reach for, but that one is like heavy duty, and that one has a very matte finish, whereas this is just more skin-like. But you know, I have to be honest, I do like this product. I don't want to give you guys the wrong impression that I like, because I know I included this in the products that I think are overhyped video that I did a few months ago, and while I do still think it's overhyped, I still like it. I hope that makes sense. You guys get me. I don't need to over-explain myself. So for powder, my favorite powder that I own is the e.l.f. HD powder in Soft Luminance. I haven't tried the regular e.l.f. HD powder, but I just really like this one. So it does have a little bit of a glow to it, which I really like. If you don't want the glow, then you probably just want to go for the original HD powder. But I really have realized that I just love loose powders. I feel like they can just look so perfected on the skin, and it's easy to get a very light yet even layer with them. I feel like this one, a little goes a long way, and it doesn't look overly powdery on your skin. So for contour, I really only own one contour product, but this is one of my favorite products in my whole collection, the Jordana Sculpt and Go Creamy Contour Stick. It is a true contour color. It is, I'm not gonna say it's purely cool toned, it's kind of like neutral leaning cool, but it's great for actual contouring. And I like to use this with an angled contour brush like this old one from Profusion. It's their contour brush. It came from a brush set that's no longer sold. But what I do is I just apply this directly onto the brush. I feel like when I draw this directly onto my cheeks, I have a hard time getting it to blend in without lifting up my foundation. So this way is like completely foolproof for me. I feel like the concept of contouring kind of gets a bad rap because you think of like contouring being something that you do when you're wearing really heavy makeup and you're like sculpting your cheekbones and your nose, and for me, like this looks so natural on my skin, you can't even really tell that I'm wearing a contour. This isn't just something I use when I'm going for like a really heavy sculpted look. It just kind of gives my cheekbones a little bit of definition while still looking really natural. It never looks muddy. On my skin tone, I have a hard time getting things like contour and bronzer to not look super muddy, and this is just so good. So good. Okay, so I have been on a cream blush, really just cream product kick lately. And my favorite blush is actually one that's new to me. It was actually recently sent to me by Clove and Hallow, and this is their Hydratint in Blossom. This has quickly become my favorite blush. I love the formula, and I also love the shade, and that's what makes it my favorite. I also debated picking my Flower Blush Balm in the shade Pinched, but that one, I love the formula, just not so much the shade. I really tend to go for more neutral to cool blushes these days, and this is just so nice. I think they describe this as a serum blush, so it may be similar to like those really popular M Cosmetics serum blushes. I'm not sure, I haven't tried them, but I love this blush. I have really fallen in love with it. It looks like a nail polish. Dotting a little bit on, and I do a pretty generous amount just because it's such a light color. I don't really need to be too careful with it, which is another reason why I love it so much. And lately I've really been letting my blush kind of come up a little bit higher than I used to. I want it to be like a flush all over my cheeks, not just in this one little pinpointed area that I used to put it. It just looks so juicy and it blends in so quickly. That's another thing that I love really about any kind of face product. Something that blends in quickly is like way more likely to be a favorite. Same goes for concealer, because it just feels like it becomes one with my skin and it's just gonna look so much more natural than something that you really have to like work hard to blend in. So that's another thing I like about this. Yeah, this has quickly become a favorite. It's like the only blush I want to wear right now. And you know, I even like dotting a little bit of blush up onto my forehead. Call me crazy, but I'm telling you, it just gives you this really natural sun-kissed look. And this is a really light shade, but they do make some deeper shades as well. They have like a really nice looking like terracotta, like spicy kind of terracotta color. So there are options for deeper skin tones as well. That is a favorite. I just feel like I need to smile when I have that on. I'm going to do a little bit of setting powder on my face, again with the e.l.f. Soft Luminance. I just wanted to put on my cream products first. I'm really just gonna do a little bit in the areas that I feel like just need to be set. Really just kind of the T-zone and a little bit here. But I don't really want to put anything on my cheeks. I just want to let those be glowy. My favorite highlighter is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector powder in Champagne Pop. It's just the best highlighter ever. Elaine is smacking on her food over there. Sorry if you can hear that. The formula is just so smooth. Like, do you see that? It doesn't emphasize texture at all. It just glides on so smoothly. This is the only highlighter that when I wear it in videos, people ask me what highlighter I'm wearing. Like, this is the one that people want to know what I'm wearing when I'm wearing this one. Because there's just something about it. And even though this really packs a punch, I think the thing I like about it is that it really does show up and look pretty intense, but at the same time, it's not that obvious to like a normal person who maybe doesn't know about makeup. It's not that obvious that I'm wearing like a shiny highlighter on my face. It just looks like my cheekbones are really defined and really dewy. Yet it's a powder. I just love this highlighter so much. So moving on to the eyes. I'm just gonna do some eye primer. I don't really care about this eyeshadow primer, but it's the Ulta Matte Eye Primer. It's good, but you know, I don't have strong feelings about eye primers, honestly. So it's not like this is my favorite eye primer. It's the only one I have, so. And really same with my brow routine. I use the Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade in Taupe for my brows. It's just the one that I have. I don't feel the need to own a ton of eyebrow products. I used to be a pencil girl, but now I switched over to pomade just because it's a little bit less waste. Like, I would go through those plastic retractable pencils like every 6 weeks or so, and it was just a lot of plastic waste and this has lasted me so long, and there's, you know, still a ton in there. So I have to say I do really like this pomade. Oh, I forgot. I was also going to share my favorite bronzer. My favorite bronzer, because the Jordana product I consider contour, is the Milani Baked Bronzer in Dolce. I like it because it's a very light color, and so it's easy for me to use without it getting too dark and too orangey. Even though it is quite a warm, it's like a warm golden bronzer, I would describe it. I do still really like it. I'll just dust a little bit of this around my hairline, like the high points of my face. But yeah, this is a great bronzer for fair skin if you like kind of a golden tone bronzer. And then this is my favorite brow gel, the e.l.f. Wow Brow Gel. It's also the only one I own, but this is the second one I've had of these. It's just a good brow gel. I have the shade Taupe. So if you remember my palette ranking video, my #1 palette was, and really still is, the e.l.f. Earth and Ocean palette. This palette is just so fun and different, and I always come away with a different look when I use this. There's just a lot you can do with it. I mean, you probably look at this and think, oh, you're probably just gonna get either a blue look or a green look when you use this, But even within those two color families, there's so much you can do. And then there's also actually a good amount of just like earthy sort of neutral shades that you can also do a lot with. So I kind of want to do something maybe a little earthy and yellowy. So I'm gonna kind of stick to like these shades here. I'm gonna start with Mojave Mami in my crease. All right, I kind of want Gold Rush to be the main color on my lid. It's like a bright yellowy gold. I'm just gonna pack that on with my finger. I feel like I don't use this shade often enough, but it is gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Wow. Do you see that? Why have I never put this all over my lid? Like, I think I normally reserve this for the inner corner. No, this shade needs to be all over the lid. Just adding a little bit more of Mojave Mami to the outer corner and just blending a little bit. I think I'm gonna keep this look pretty simple, but oh my gosh, I am currently kicking myself for not having done this with this shade before. I mean, it's so simple, you know, just all over my lid, but like, holy cow, that is gorgeous. Okay, so for the inner corner, I'm gonna put a little bit of Sun Yourself, which is like a lighter version of Gold Rush. I think I will add a little bit of Desert Storm, which is a deeper, kind of more mustardy brown on my outer corner, just to add a little bit of dimension here. All right, on the lower lash line, I'm gonna take some more of Mojave Mami. It's a very simple look. I just feel like that Gold Rush shade kind of speaks for itself, you know? We don't need a whole lot of other shades complicating this look. But do you see what I mean? Like, you might look at this palette and think, oh, you're probably just gonna get either a bright blue or a bright green look. Look at this. This is neither blue nor green. And it's still, it just makes such a statement. Every time I use this palette, I fall more in love with it. All right, so I'm going to finish up with just some mascara. I have some eyeliners in my collection. I like all of them, but none of them are like, wow, this is like a holy grail eyeliner. Like, they're all good, but I don't necessarily have like a favorite eyeliner in the world. So I also don't really feel like this look calls for eyeliner. But I am trying out a new mascara. This is the Covergirl Clump Crusher Extensions. I have to say, I'm really liking this mascara. A few people recommended that I try it because I like this type of brush so much. This kind of rubber bristle curved wand is my jam. So I do like it so far. I've only had it open for a couple days, and so I feel like I need to use it for another couple weeks to really see, because sometimes it does take a couple weeks for the mascara to really reach its sweet spot, you know? So I'm still, I can't really say for sure how I feel. I definitely do have to build it up, but that could just be because it's, you know, brand new. Like, that's one coat right there. Which is pretty good. I mean, it's very lengthening. Now, I can't pick a favorite lipstick. I really just can't. What I can do is pick a favorite in each sort of general category that I have. So I have like a favorite gloss, I have a favorite nude lipstick, I have a favorite red lipstick, and I have a favorite like other bold lipstick. I'll go ahead and share what those are. My favorite gloss at the moment is the Milani Keep It Full Nourishing Lip Plumper in Soft Rose. My favorite nude lipstick is the Red Apple lipstick in Beachside, which is this kind of tan nude. It's a very glossy formula. My favorite red lipstick, now this is more of a shade favorite than a formula favorite, but the Jordana Sweet Cream Matte Liquid Lip in Mango Sorbet. I'm thinking this is what I'm gonna do today because I just think this is gonna go so well with this eye. And then my favorite other bold lipstick is the e.l.f. Moisturizing Lipstick in Flirty and Fabulous. It's a really pretty blue-based pink. But I'm thinking today, I think any of these could really work, but I'm gonna use the Jordana Sweet Cream and Mango Sorbet because I love this color. Red lipstick really is where my heart is. I just love red lipstick. And I think this look is shaping up to be very summery and bright. So that is my full face of all of my favorite makeup products all together. I mean, it's no surprise that I really like this look because all the products I used were my favorites. So yeah, I should really give myself permission to just use all these products all the time because they're really good. So why would I not? So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to see you again very soon, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.